Hey everyone, welcome into the Five Hole Fantasy Hockey Podcast. I am your lone host, Alan J. Is doing again. It's just we're wrapping up that holiday travel season, but I am your lone host, Alan. I tried to get a ringer last second, didn't work out. But I am here with the script. Here with teams and streams. We're targeting news and updates from around the league, fresh from the NHL. Um, Will Ferrell himself in that referee uniform handed it to me. But before we get into the show, as always, Twitter, Discord, we have them. They are active. Be sure to follow them. Jump in on them. How are we going? I'm going all right. All right. I'm still here. I'm keeping the lights on. Held up by copious amounts of caffeine and brain chemicals. But yeah, Twitter, Discord, we got them. They're active. Uh, they can help you keep up to date on things, give you direct access to a lot of us, and just other people who are active in the fantasy hockey community, and YouTube, so you can watch us live here on. Oh, there we go. Any more adventures to Amsterdam, Barcelona? I think that's TJ. Who has the adventures to Amsterdam, Barcelona, as he is the one who's up in the air a lot. Yeah, YouTube. That's how you're watching me live. If you're the visual type, or if you're the audio only audience, be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcast there. But getting into the show, the news. No, that is not me, Patrick. No, I like to stay on the ground. Flying is for the birds. But yeah, storylines, headlines. It was brought to my attention on Saturday. Seattle in the last couple weeks has been using a 1-to-1 split on the goalies, and Grubauer doesn't suck. This is news to me. That was Grubauer was one of their big first free agency signings when the franchise started, and he's just been not great for them. So for him to have a nice run at anything has been just insane. Yeah, ever since their California road trip late last month, they've been kind of 1-to-1 split. And since, yeah, it's just, I haven't, honestly, Seattle's not a team I really follow a whole lot, just especially goalies, because Decord's just kind of been the de facto starter for a couple of years now. All of Grubauer's last 3 starts have been quality starts with a 1 goal against and better than a 950 saves percentage. Only thing that makes me raise to that, that Spock eyebrow raise is their opponents, though. Anaheim, Vancouver, Nashville. Although, I mean, Nashville's been on I don't know, I don't want to say suspicious run themselves, but definitely I don't know, not a Cinderella story run, just definitely a run that, I don't know, what are they, 19, 18, 4 on the season now, Nashville? Insane. But you love to see it. Causes chaos. Next up, as much as I thought I was espousing doom and gloom for the Pens might be all right. Over the last 2 weeks, they are tied for 6th in goals for per game. Puts them in leagues with teams like Colorado, Tampa, Montreal, Dallas. I think they're tied with Dallas is what they are. 6th best power play over the last 2 weeks, 30.8%, which I think is about what they are on the season. But I mean, I don't know, that power play's got guys like Crosby, Eric Carlson, Brian Rust. It doesn't surprise me that power play is as good as it is. I mean, Arthur Shelovs has been serviceable. His starts are close to league average, but not what you thought with someone his pedigree. But Stuart Skinner, both of his last 2 starts have been fantastic. No notes. I don't know. I might have to take him back. I have dropped him, I think, twice at least so far this season. I might have to go back to him against my better judgment. But injuries, quite a few. Blackwood to IR. It was a shock to me out of nowhere. He's going to be reevaluated after the road trip on the 8th. Trent Miner was recalled. The hope is that it is day-to-day and he will be ready for Thursday against Ottawa. Old age are showing it. But yes, the word from his agent, and this is got to keep this on the down low, is that Mackenzie Blackwood will return for Avengers Doomsday. Um, Next up, Seth Jones is day to day after taking a puck to the collarbone. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. Something conspiracy. Adam Fox didn't make the Olympics team, even though it wasn't Adam Fox that hit him in the collarbone. But anyway, the relevant piece of fantasy advice here is that Aaron Ekblad is on power play 1 for the moment. So in my mind, this actually makes Aaron Ekblad fantasy relevant while he gets power play 1. Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to add this to the notes. During that stadium, was it the stadium? No, the Winter Classic. That was the Winter Classic. They did interview Matthew Tkachuk, and it does sound like he plans to return very, very soon, I believe was the quote, or just very shortly. So if you're not the one who's been stashing him in IR very soon, or maybe he's on the wire even, I don't know. This might be the chance to maybe go check the wire, maybe throw some sort of not bumkiss trade offer, but maybe toss out some feelers. Maybe throw a trade offer to the guy who's been stashing them all season long. Um, Maybe he's just kind of forgot he's been holding them. Try to buy him for 80 cents on the dollar. Uh, I really feel like this is going to be a shot in the arm for Florida in the Aaron Ekblad manner. For that team as a whole, power play, just all strengths for that team. They're going to need it. I think this is something I talked about on one of the shows with Jay. Florida has rest of the season. They have a ton of away games. They're going to need all the help they can get. And we saw what having a lot of away games, not necessarily in a row, but just in a stretch, does to a team. See Edmonton, for example. Zach Werenski, Columbus Blue Jackets did return yesterday. They needed that. Not that they were circling the drain, but definitely a key piece to the core of that team. I think they blew out. I forget who they played yesterday, but definitely a great game yesterday. No, their game hasn't. I think their game is just starting today against Pittsburgh. I forget who they played yesterday. Definitely someone you got to get in if you have him on your roster. And yeah, it's Blue Jackets. Jack Reeves making 2 starts in a row. Almost wanted to make the joke on Twitter today that it was, yeah, man, Blue Jackets can't play Elvis because they need people to forget how bad Elvis is so that they can trade him. I don't know. I forget what the rumor was that who they were going to trade Elvis to. I know this is not the first year that Elvis was rumored to be on the move. But yeah, and even the beginning of the season, I knew that Jet Greaves was going to take the net. I just didn't think it happened kind of this quickly. I figured it'd be more of a 1-to-1 timeshare, and then Jet Greaves would take it eventually. But yeah, I don't know I don't even know who they'd call up from Cleveland if they moved Elvis. But yeah, Jet getting back to back starts like that, kind of shocking. This just came in shortly before I went live here. Yaden Schwartz spotted at practice today for the first time since American Thanksgiving. Yikes. Yaden Schwartz, yes, American Thanksgiving, spotted in a regular jersey, huge for the Seattle Kraken. Oh yeah, I'll definitely get to that D Stu. Huge piece for and this is why kind of the Mason Marchman trade shocked me. Kraken on their left wing side, they're just super shallow. So this will be a huge piece for the Kraken to get back. So hopefully this means he is returning soon. And then yeah, man, Washington Capitals just kind of a mess. And this is very poor timing, as I will get into shortly. Tom Wilson, day to day. We should know more tomorrow, Monday, depending on when you're listening to this. He went down on his right leg kind of funny, but he was able to get off the ice kind of under his own power. But once he got to the tunnel, it just everyone kind of helped him off. And then Alexi protests very late scratch, which sucks because I was able to pick him up in 2 of the 3 leagues I'm in, and then my wife grabbed him in the 3rd league I'm in. So yeah, just I don't know, maybe I don't know how long he'll be out, but definitely I know his ownership is very high, but maybe just go see if he's out there on the wire. Um, but yeah, moving on to the schedule there, we'll pop up the game grid. This coming week, week 14, very normal schedule. Like your off days are your off days. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, nothing fancy there. Not a lot of games on those days. Monday 5 games, Wednesday 5 games, Friday 3 games. Yikes. Sunday 5 games, and then your Tuesday 10, Thursday 12, Saturday 14. But yeah, nothing fancy, nothing tricksy there. Not like last week where it was like was it like Monday was a major day for games. We're back to normal for now. But yeah, just hard crazy to think the Olympics are a month away. But your best schedules, oh man, did I not fill this in? Friggin' okay. Anyway, so games played leaders, we got 13 teams with 4 games this week. It's nice, good week to choose from here. So our off night leaders, we got Washington and Utah with 4 games, 4 off nights. Perfect, all week streams. And then we got LA, 4 games, 3 off nights. So a couple of teams with the easiest schedules in quotes, kind of weaker opponents, good schedules. So I like Vegas's schedule, a little spicy. They got Winnipeg, Columbus, St. Louis. Although St. Louis, I don't know, man. Bennington getting a shutout against Montreal. I don't know how to interpret that because was it like Montreal was it in the last 2 weeks? They're one of the better goals for per game. To get a shutout by St. Louis of all things. I don't know. Maybe Bennington is he's trying to get into Olympic form already. And then San Jose. But this could be a trap. And again, it's Twitter, so grain of salt on the internet. No one knows you're a dog. But it was a quote I came across. Vegas historically not super great in January. So Vegas, this could be a trap. Stream at your own risk. And then I don't know, Vegas just a hard team to stream from. Not a lot of options there. I mean, there's always Barbashev. And Braden Bowman. I think now that Eichel's back, I think I saw that Braden Bowman is back on that top line with Eichel. But like I kind of noticed over the weekend, Eichel didn't really look himself yet. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just needed a game to get his sea legs under him, and he'll be fine. I think Vegas plays today. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Utah schedule. I like their opponents. Even though Jersey almost shut them out yesterday, that was interesting to see. They play the Rangers, Ottawa, St. Louis, Columbus, kind of the same teams Vegas does. So worse schedules. This hurts because in one league I have 3 Tampa players. I got, like I mentioned on Wednesday, I got Point, I got Gensel, I got Radish. I can't drop any of those guys. Like I just kind of got to grin and bear it and just work around them best I can. And then, yeah, teams that kind of have tough schedules, tough opponents. Again, Tampa, their 2 games are against Colorado, who may just be goal differential blood for the blood god, and then Philly. And then Ottawa, yeah, I'm not really fans of their opponents. They got Detroit, Utah, Colorado, Florida. Even though, again, Ottawa, one of the better, higher scoring teams, especially over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, waiver wire pickups for the week there. Tier 1, of course, the perfect streams, Washington and Utah. But Washington, this is going to be a tough one. And of course, just as I put at the top of my notes, like thank the deities, they moved Bavilier to the top line. I see he is right back where I got him. It's like that the meme where from The Simpsons, where Moe is tossing Barney out of the bar, and then in the next frame, Barney is like right behind him. This is that meme where it's Beauvillier right behind me. And just but yeah, I don't know. I forget where Beauvillier came from, if that was a trade or a free agency signing for the Capitals. But yeah, there we go. When I wrote out these notes, protest was 71% owned. Just go check your wires. Like I said, in the 3 leagues I'm in this season, I was able to pick him up in 2, but he is now day to day. And then yeah, my wife grabbed him in the 3rd. Ryan Leonard, 17%. He's getting mixed time on ice, but that is the rookie curse. 1 minute you could get 20 minutes time on ice, the next minute you're scratched, but he's getting power play 1. And with all these injuries, he could very well, he could very well, be getting a lot more deployment. There we go. And then, yeah, here we go. We got Patrick talking about, yes. Oh, yeah. I'll actually absolutely talk about Aiden Hill later. And then, yeah, Justin Sordiff, he was a game time decision yesterday, Saturday. He is less than 1% owned. Kind of been on a little bit of a heater lately. He is power play 2, line 2. Well, was with Tom Wilson until Tom Wilson went down. Hopefully he won't be out long though. 4 points in his last 2 games. I think he was right wing and just got center. But I like it because, again, at the end of the day, even if he was center only, he's got that 4 off nights slate, so you'll be able to slot him in anywhere. No biggie. If you need category coverage, you got Matt Roy, Martin Fehervary, blocks, and then Matt Duhaime for hits. And then for Utah, this is, again, I feel like this is a tough team to kind of stream from. I feel like early in the season, they just had an insane heater to start the season. Yeah, Patrick, don't worry about that, man. I don't share my notes with everyone, so how does everyone know what they're spoiling? Yeah, just go check on Smaltz. He's gotten very nice ownership at 69%, and JJ Peterka, 63%. Probably the easiest pickup, and probably, I don't know, the one I'd say you're most likely to get. I don't want to call him the priority ad. Probably the most likely probably just the one you're most likely to get. Sean Dursey, 12%, 7 points in his last 8. And I think he had at least one more point yesterday, before I wrote these notes. And that's with his shooting percent, half of his career. But his IPP is redlining. So this is kind of like a weird mix of stats colliding. So basically he should be getting more goals, but fewer points. So don't read into it too much. Basically, he's the idea of a stream. Like he's kind of redlining on some stuff. But the points are there. That's what you want. How he's getting them, don't ask questions. Just pick him up. But yeah, Barrett Hayton, Lawson Krause are actually doing stuff at the moment. Again, this doesn't include yesterday's game, but they had 4 points in 4 games. They'll definitely be widely available. McBain for hits, Ian Cole for blocks if you need category coverage. Both those guys widely available. It's really just most of those guys in that top 5, top 6 that are going to give you trouble if you try to look for them. Tier 2, LA Kings. With the 4 games, 3 off nights. Yoel Armia, for some reason, he is getting power play 1 right now over Kuzmenko. His last power play point was 12-17, although I think they played last night, so I could be wrong there. But yeah, unless he got one last night, as my Graham used to say, that's nice, dear. Andrei Kuzmenko, 4%. He actually is a little hot at the moment. 5 points in 5 games, but he is on that quote 3rd line with Fiala and Turcotte. But I think that center, I don't think Turcotte is that center. I think they're getting someone back soon. So that center could change. But yeah, Kopitar, for some reason, only 33% owned. Probably someone who just kind of goes in and out of the wire because he is center only. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you'll be able to slot him in definitely. And then depending on how he works out for you, Friday you're able to drop him because I assume, yeah. I didn't look at this. What is the schedule here? LA. So they play Saturday. Yeah. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he stinks it up for you. You're able to drop him for a Hail Mary on Sunday. There you go. Get the most of that ad. And then LaFerriere. I've seen a lot of people recommend him. I agree. Line one, power play one with Kopi and Kempe. Can't ask for much more than that. Prime deployment. Next up, I don't know, man. It seems weird to enthusiastically kind of include this team. But in the last 2 weeks, they are 5-1 with a +7 goal differential. They are 11th in the league over the last 2 weeks. In goals for per game in that time. And I think they're slipping under the radar for a lot of people. And this is good. This is what I'm sure what a lot of you listen for is for that under the radar content that just some people miss. But Calgary, it just feels weird to talk about these guys because I don't know, they just really haven't had like a good schedule in a while. But and if this is a name I haven't uttered in a very long time, and yeah, Mikhail Backlund. He's only 9% owned, and good on you. People in Yahoo, I saw him as one of the more added players in the transaction lists yesterday. As I was scooping around or combing around, he is center only, yes. And I'm not I try to stay away from suggesting center only players because I get it on those busy days. Center only, like you're always going to play your studs, like your Nathan McKinnons, your oh my god, your Sidney Crosby's. Like you should always play those guys over your streamers for that week. I'm not a fan of suggesting center only guys, but this guy has 9 points in his last 6, and then this is where I like suggesting Calgary here as kind of a tier 2 stream team. Calgary plays Monday, Wednesday. So if Calgary dries up, um, Monday, Wednesday, it's still earlier in the week. You can pivot I didn't get a chance to include this in my notes. Yeah, you can pivot to one of these other teams. Like, you can pivot to a Utah, or maybe someone in Washington gets healthy on like Thursday and you can pick them up. You get your Friday, Sunday teams, or someone like, Winnipeg, I guess. Yeah, just one of these other am I looking at? Yes, I am No, I'm not looking at the right week. There we go. I gotta sort by score again. Not looking at the right week here. My game grid's all funky. There we go. Yeah, you can pivot to some of these other teams. Yeah, like Columbus, Boston, Nashville. Yeah, some of these other teams that have like good schedules over the weekend. And then Blake Coleman, 36% owned, well under that 50% threshold. He is he's a multi-cat monster. As always. And yes, that cat sound was on purpose. And then if you need hits, you got Klapka, you got Lomberg, he's got like a less than 1% ownership. Like you're definitely not going to have trouble owning him. And I know he's someone that TJ's thrown out there in the past, like a sneaky under the radar guy. So even if you're in like deeper leagues, you're always going to be able to find him out there. And yes, I would say this last team here on tier 2, they're here because while they may be a sieve defensively, they are 4th in goals for per game over the last 2 weeks at 4, which is very nice for fantasy, right? I mean, unless you're playing their goalies, which again, Linus Ullmark out for personal reasons right now. So yeah, unless you're taking the chance on Levi Meralainen, which hopefully most of you are not. I don't think he's been great. Yeah, you want the goal scoring. That's what you're here for. Again, I'm sounding this guy. tooting the horn on this guy. He's been great for me. I think do I own him in all 3 leagues I'm in? I think I do. Just go check on Dylan Cousins, dude, 55%. Um, Again, just another multi-cat monster. Um, on Power Play 1, I think in every league I'm in, and maybe it's just the scoring, like, the listener league this year and the 5 hole, is just its categories. Dude is ranked in, like, the top 50, in every league I'm in. It was just insane. Uh, Fabian Zetterlund, 9% owned. You're gonna be able to find him. But yeah, one of TJ's guys to start the season. He is getting line 1, 8 points in his last 7. Just go check on just go check on Thomas Shabbat. Fantastic for bangers and cats leagues. Shane Pinto is back from injury, should be fairly available. Only problem with him is he is center only. I wish he'd get something else, like some other position eligibility, but he does only play center, unfortunately. Um, this is nothing we can do. Yahoo won't give him anything else unless he actually plays in another position there. But yeah, goalie segment. There we go. So now I can get to this. So yes, Aiden Hill should be nearing a return. Actually, I saw on Twitter right before I got going here on the show, he was spotted like in gear. I don't know if he was practicing or just getting some ice time. Was spotted in Chicago earlier today. Should be nearing a return. I think he was slated to initially return mid to late January. So with the way that Carter Hart has been, it wouldn't surprise me if they tried a 1-to-1 tandem, him and Hart, or Hill just runs away with it with the way Hart's been, which is not good. So yeah, 65% owned. Last I checked. Just go check your wires. If you got IR spots and it's not going to hurt you, probably a pretty good stash. Otherwise, both Vegas goalies are pretty widely available for this week, especially after Carter Hart got just lit up at the last second there. I just think I mean, Eichel did return, but Shea Theodore is still out. Could be worse if Braden McNabb misses time. Did he actually get, I forget what the prognosis was on, because the last I saw was just kind of day to day for him, which sucks because was in the 5 hole listener league. I used my last ad for him because he provided like hit block coverage, and that was where I was trying to like hold a lead, get a lead. Of course I lose him, so that sucked. Yeah, their defense could get a lot worse if McNabb misses time. Yeah, later in the week, this strategy here, Penguins, like I mentioned at the top of the show, Penguins do seem to be getting a little hot again. Both goalies well under 50%, pretty widely available there. Habs goalies, over the last 2 weeks, the Habs seem somehow, I don't know how, but they are tied 8th best goals against per game with Tampa and Detroit. All 3 of those goalies are owned. I think I'm the not deserve to win meter, but something like it. My opinion on Jacob Fowler has now shifted to not touching him. I personally, I'm not touching any of the Habs goalies. They are all spot starts to me, especially since they seem to want to run 3. And it's hard enough, like with 2, especially if a team wants to run a tandem, and now you have a 3rd goalie. It's a mess. But anyway, Habs goalies last 2 weeks, 8th best goals against per game, and they're tied with Tampa and Detroit. That's good company. Montembeault is the most owned at 34%, and I think right now, last I checked on that game, they're playing Dallas. They were tied 1-1. Now they're tied 2-2. Okay. So I don't know if Montembeault is going to kind of reclaim. I know he did like a conditioning stint a little bit ago. I don't know if Montembeault is going to kind of hopefully regain that starting status. but I don't know, none of them seem to be kinda taking the reins on there. Uh, I don't know if you wanna take a chance on a spot start on any of the Habs goalies. The point is, any of them should be widely available. My take on Allen in New Jersey, I say he is good for a spot start. I trust him a lot more than Markstrom, even though, yes, Markstrom did almost get that shutout, um, against, Utah yesterday. Um, I still think Jake Allen is kind of the better goalie, it seems to be for the moment. Um, and then yeah, again, now that Jersey is offensively seems to be a lot healthier, whatever goalie starts is going to get the goal support, which is yeah, that's half the battle right there. It's not like what was the joke? It was yeah, it was a joke to the Habs. It was a joke referencing the days of Carey Price, where Carey Price was the Montreal Canadiens, um, where it was just like, yeah, you lose a game 2-0, and then it was Carey Price's, like, first time. Um, yeah, where it's just like it was Carey Price, and then just Montreal Canadiens had, like, nothing. Um, no real stars offensively, defensive you might have had, like, PK Subban back in those times. Um but there really wasn't much. So Patrick's kind of got a all right. So he's currently running Vladar, Decord, Pickard. Um, yeah. So okay, yeah. This is kind of like the drawback of punting goalies completely, where you have like no bona fide starters, or like you draft a starter and they end up, you know, laying an egg and becoming worthless. Yeah, Vladar, Decord, Pickard, and both Decord and Pickard are streamers only. Definitely thinking of picking up Allen. What's Jersey's schedule? So they have 3 games. Isles, Pens, Winnipeg at the Sunday game. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many starts Allen could potentially see. They do seem to be Stolar's in the 7th, and yeah, who knows when he's coming back. Um, yeah, I would say I don't know if I'd pick up Allen right at the beginning of the week. Um, wait and see when or if he gets a start on like Tuesday, Thursday. And then I'll probably take this question from D Stu. And then call it here. Unless someone else throws something out there. Um, so I think it's time to cut Kreider. I think yeah, I held him in a league for a little bit here when he was hot at the beginning. Um, I think it's time to cut Kreider, replace with Paterka, Raquel, Lindholm, or Zuccarello, Cat's Banger. Um, that's a toughie because those are all actually pretty good choices. Um, it depends on how long you want to hold because obviously for next week, Paterka, great stream. Um, but longer term, this could depend on when your playoffs are because, right? Because Lindholm and Raquel, Boston and Pittsburgh, depending on when your playoffs are, Boston and Pittsburgh have some of the better schedules in one of the formats. Zuccarello, um, a pretty good medium term hold, but I know Minnesota in one of the formats has like one of the worst schedules. But yeah, Lindholm, kind of since he got back from injury, has been just really under the radar good. Um, playing with Pasta. But yeah, Zuccarello, ever since that Quinn Hughes trade. Oh man. And again, I hate spouting random statements on Twitter with no like evidence, no charts to back it up. But there we go. Yeah, weeks 21 and 23. So Raquel and Lindholm, they would be the ones to have for like the better schedules. And again, Pittsburgh, it's so hard to tell what that team's gonna look like because without getting too deep into the woods for playoff. It's going to be hard to tell what Pittsburgh's going to look like, right? Because do they make the playoffs? Do they hold the fire sale? Um, we don't know. We don't know what that team's going to look like. Um, but yeah, Paterka, very good short term. Raquel Lindholm, hopefully they're both very good playoff holds, like long term holds. Um, Zuccarello, probably the medium term hold, but I feel like Minnesota was one of the weaker playoff schedules in that format, weeks 21 to 23. Um, yeah, I can't remember what Raquel and Lindholm do category wise for you. Looking to hold, yeah. So I would look to, if you're looking to hold longer term, I would look to Raquel or Lindholm uh, longer term. Um, yeah, especially for power play. Well, even power play points. I feel like Raquel can get those for you too. Um, I lost my train of thought there. But hopefully, yeah, hopefully that helps you. There you go, D Stu. But yeah, let's go ahead and call it there. We'll be back Wednesday with the shutdown shift. I'll have Jay back with, and then Saturday we'll do sit start like normal, and then immediately after that we're gonna launch into another episode. Um, after that, and then we don't want to reveal what it is yet, but I'm sure most of you will find it very useful. Um, but thanks for tuning in live, and for those of you listening, thank you, and again, as always, good day, good mental health, everyone.